Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. This is episode 324, and I am your host, Sean Hayes, here to bring you the latest and greatest gaming news of the week. I'm just going to adjust the microphone a little bit. Not doing a live show this week because I will be traveling. But I wanted to get an episode out to everyone, so this episode is up on YouTube and out on the podcast feeds. Also because I'm recording it later at night, gonna make this a bit quicker than I usually do, so I won't go on long random tangents and rants. And we have 7 news topics this week, so some stuff focused on Switch 2, some unfortunate sort of board gaming news. But yeah, there are some fun pieces of news in there. So again, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're having a great Easter weekend, regardless of whether you celebrate or not. Let's get right into it. So our first topic is GameInformer reports that patch 8 for Baldur's Gate 3 went live on April 17th. The final patch, this is the final patch for the game, includes crossplay between consoles, even PlayStation, Mac and PC. It includes photo mode, and there's a new subclass for every class in the game. So this includes College of Glamour for bards, Path of Giants for barbarians, Death Domain for clerics, Circle of Stars for druids, Oath of the Crown for paladins, Arcane Archer for fighters, Drunken Master for monks, Swarmkeeper for rangers, Swashbuckler for rogues, Shadow Magic for sorcerers, Hexblade for warlocks, and Bladesinging for wizards. So a lot of swashbuckling, a lot of sword play. So this is out now. I haven't had a chance to dive back into it. It's going to be a while before I get back into Baldur's Gate 3 just because I put 250 hours for a single playthrough. But very excited for College of Glamour, Swashbuckler. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, Beast Mastery was already in there from the get-go, so like I'm all set. So, my class fantasy was already in there, but when I play bards, I tend to go College of Glamour, and I do have a character that's a Swashbuckler rogue. So it'll be exciting to try those out. Larian, fantastic job. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll see any more content just due to the fact that team at Wizards was dissolved, effectively. But at least now they are able to take a break and kind of figure out, what their next project is going to be, what they want to put their focus on. So, thank you, Larian, for all the hard work, and I hope you guys take a nice long rest after putting out this patch. Next up, IGN reports that Polish developer DreamDock Games has announced a first-person fishing apocalyptic horror game, heavily inspired by Dredge. It's currently available to wishlist on Steam. The game is called Dreadmoor. Notably, it is a first-person game, and it looks like more. It's like in the screenshots, it has sort of like fishing trawler type mechanics, but like also doing like personal fishing, like with a rod and reel. And then like events happen on the boat. I think it'll be different enough from Dredge that it can exist in the same niche and not feel like the same game. It's just, we'll have to wait and see. My hope is that they absolutely made it different enough, because I don't necessarily want to see a game come out that takes away from Dredge, if that makes sense. Like, I want to see them exist in the same space. But it like, it's very evident that that's the vibe that they were going for, to the point that I'm a little worried that it might be too similar. So we'll have to see. Plus, also, like, I hope that they don't follow like the exact same sort of story path that Dredge did, because otherwise, then the story just gets boring. So hopefully, they kind of play around with it a little bit. Next up, so very sad news. So Greater Than Games, who make Sentinels of the Multiverse and Spirit Island, it's effectively been shut down. Their parent company supposedly has laid off all but the 3 founders of the company, and kept the founders on as like retainers. And they've canceled all new projects. They haven't announced yet what's happening with any of the Kickstarters that are in the process of being fulfilled. I don't imagine there's going to be a lot of good news, because this is happening due to the Trump administration's tariffs. Because board games are like partially exempt from some of the tariffs in China, but it's still like 145%, which is just unworkable. So, unfortunately, Desperation, which was the upcoming Sentinels Definitive Edition expansion, was like at the stage where they were getting ready to load the games on container ships. So it's especially gut wrenching. So my heart goes out to them. I really liked them as a board game company. I love Sentinels. Spirit Island is great. And this feels like an absolute punch to the gut. So I'm really sorry for them that this is happening. So yeah, my hope is that perhaps, if and when the tariffs are lifted, that all the people who were laid off get their jobs back, and that they get back to doing what they love. So, next up, GameInformer reports that the Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild will not include the expansion pass DLC. Meanwhile, IGN reports that both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will have a randomized daily bonus accessed through the Zelda companion app. Bonuses include random meal effects, health and stamina recovery, and potentially like repairing your equipment. It's like some sort of like spinner dial, and it's a randomized bonus. There has also been some confusion as to whether or not the games will support cloud saves, and the messaging from Nintendo has been inconsistent on that. It seems particularly weird to not have it supported when it currently is. So, yeah, not sure what's going on with that. But yeah, and also I don't like, if you're gonna have equipment repairs, if you're gonna add it into the game in some form or another, this is not the way to do it. For the record, and longtime listeners of the podcast and readers of my comic will understand, know my feelings on the weapon durability system in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. For those who don't know, I have no problem with it. But I will agree with folks that if you're going to add it into the game, just put it in and don't make people jump through hoops of it being like a randomized daily thing that requires a third-party app. It's no. Like if you're going to put it in, just have it be an option in the game. Like just put it in the game. Yeah. This seems silly and as a cheap way of getting people to engage with the app. Because admittedly, I don't know if it's really worth it. If the app's worth it, outside of like being able to share the projects that you build in Tears of the Kingdom. But who knows? Ooh, excuse me. Next up, GameInformer reports that Sony has increased the price of the PS5 in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, the Middle East, and Africa. The price increases are different for each region. They seem to have generally been in the $50 to $100 range. And the prevailing theory is that they are increasing the prices globally to offset the tariffs on North America. So, I don't know. This, yeah. And of course, this was also announced like before more tariffs went into effect. So it may be the case that North America still sees higher prices for PS5s. But this, once again, I'm sorry to the rest of the world. I am not personally responsible for this. But yeah, most of us in the US aren't happy about it either. So, and to all the people who don't have a PS5 and were looking to get one, I'm also sorry. Like you're gonna pay a lot more for them. Like tariff prices aren't just a Nintendo specific thing. So, next up, Star Wars Zero Company. GameInformer reports that Reactor and Respawn Entertainment are developing a turn-based tactical Star Wars game called Zero Company. More details will be unveiled at Star Wars Celebration on Saturday, April 19th I think it's in Tokyo. But let's Star Wars Celebration Japan. Where is it happening? Makuhari Messe. Okay. So I will admit my Japanese geography not that great. So I don't quite know where that is. But it's in Japan. The game will launch on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And it is from EA. So, yeah. I mean, I love turn-based tactical games. So, very excited to see what this does. Yeah. Yeah. Very excited for it. And then finally, Nintendo announced on their website that retail pre-orders for Switch 2 will open on the US on April 24th. The console's price, shockingly, will remain unchanged for the time being. However, the price for accessories will go up generally between $5 to $10 per accessory due to the tariffs. So if you were looking to get a Pro controller, it's like $85 now. Things like that. Now, granted, those prices, U.S. prices, I did not see what the prices for Canada will be, nor did I notice if retail pre-orders will open for Canada as well. I assume they will. But obviously Canada's will be more expensive. But yeah, so we have a date for pre-orders. So my hope is that I will be able to snag one. And that it's nice to see that the console price, even if it's just for the time being, is going to remain the same. So that is the last bit of news for this week. So as I said, a little bit of a shorter episode, but more interested in just getting an episode out there. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Next week, we'll be back to more normal episode. It'll be live streamed, all that good stuff. But for the time being, if you want to check out more stuff from 8-Bit Adventures, check out 8bitadventures.com. If you want to help support that content, the best way to do that is to become a patron over at patreon.com/8bitadventures. Big shout out and thank you to all of my current patrons. Thank you very much for your continued support. And our opening theme is One Up by Professor Shy Guy. You can find his work over at professorshyguy.bandcamp.com. And with that, we're done. So happy Easter, everyone. And as always, have fun, happy gaming, and enjoy your pie cake.